Hello, hello. This is Tasia, your intuitive soul coach, and today we're going to be talking about boundaries, setting boundaries, and why they're important, and why some of us have such trouble setting them. All right, so let's get into it. So, I know for me, why it was really hard to set boundaries was because I'm a fixer. I wanted to fix it. I wanted to fix everything. Like if you had a problem and I knew the solution, I wanted to fix it. If you were struggling, I wanted you out of the struggle. And I know a lot of us are that way. We see people in our lives, we see them struggling, we see they need help, we see they need assistance, whatever it is, and we feel like it's up to us to make it better. But let's be honest, that's not true. And for a lot of times, that can actually be really disempowering, especially to the person that we're helping, because we're basically saying, I don't think you can do this on your own. I have to be the one. And then on top of that, we're also making ourselves martyrs like, oh, everybody always, takes advantage of me and takes advantage of my kindness. No, I mean, it's just not the case. We are willingly allowing these things to happen, which is why boundaries are so important and why I feel like it's something that we really need to talk about, and that these are things that we need to set up as a part of our core value system, is our boundaries, what we are willing and not willing to put up with, what we are willing and not willing to accept. So what are boundaries? Exactly that, what we are willing and not willing to accept. And why they are so important is because, like I said, we fall into victim mode, martyr mode. Oh, I'm getting taken advantage of. Oh, people don't listen to me and my needs. Oh, this person is totally stepping on me, or whatever it happens to be. But here's why. It's because you're allowing it. It's because you're saying this is okay in your actions when you don't correct them, and when you continue to allow them to do this over and over and over again. It's like when you are training your dog. If you constantly allow your dog to eat off your plate, your dog will eventually expect they're allowed to eat off your plate. Now, if from the beginning you were like, no, you're not allowed in the kitchen, you're not allowed in the dining room, when I'm eating, you need to be in another room, then your dog knows I'm not allowed here when. And it's the same thing with people. I know it's like, oh, but they're not dogs. Yes, but we still need to train the people in our lives what they can and cannot do, what they are and are not allowed to do in our realm. And they do the same thing for you. I know you've had somebody come up to you and be like, I don't appreciate that. And if you continue to do this, then, and that's really them setting boundaries with you. And if you love and respect them, you will love and respect their boundaries. Just like the people in your life, if they love and respect you the way that they should, then they will respect your boundaries. And if not, then that becomes up to you. Are you going to, one, cut them off, two, allow them to continue to do what they've been doing, or three, set the boundary, let them know what the consequence will be, and then if they continue to do it, then that's, again, you go back to one and two, I'll keep allowing it or cut them off. And so really setting boundaries is hard. It's hard, especially when it comes to family, people that you love and care about. It's super hard because, a lot of us, it's ingrained into us. We're supposed to do for these people, we're supposed to do for our family, we're supposed to take care of them no matter what, regardless. And that's beautiful if it's in a healthy way, but for a lot of times it's not. It's very lopsided or one-sided, or it feels very heavy for us. So I'm not going to say it's not going to suck. It's going to suck. And you are going to lose some people. Some people are not going to be willing or able to respect those boundaries due to things that they're going through in their lives, or just for the simple fact it's like, well, it's been like this for forever. They'll get over it. And a lot of people feel that way. They'll get over it, or they're going to go into guilt mode. But I'm your family. You're supposed to take care of your family, or they'll nudge you enough, or like they'll stop long enough for you to get comfortable, and then they'll start going back into old habits. And then that's going to be up to you to say, oh, nope, put at the stop sign, No, we've had this discussion. I let you know this is my boundary. You're crossing it. I already let you know what the consequence would be for crossing that. And so here's where you come into how do you set the boundary. First, when you're setting boundaries with people, especially if this is a pattern that has been going on for a very long time. So if it's family, like mother, father, sister, brother, whoever, best friend, and these are things that have been going on for years and years and years and years, be aware that they're going to buck. Be aware that they're going to want to come up, no, they're going to feel very judged and resentful. Just be aware that a lot of people are going to go into feeling attacked mode when you set your boundary. That is completely normal. Do not let that deter you from doing what you need to do for you and setting that boundary. And like I said, it's going to be hard. It's going to suck. It's going to be painful. It's going to be a struggle for some people. That's okay. It still needs to be established. It still needs to be done. So like I said, let's go back into how do you set that boundary. So first, you need to be in a calm state of mind. That other person needs to be in a calm state of mind. So you all need to be in a for the most part, good place, okay? And what I mean by that is you guys could just be having just talking like we would be talking right now, okay? It doesn't need to be in a heightened state of emotion. It doesn't need to be when you're feeling super emotional and super I can't believe. No, this is not the time to do that, to have that conversation. It doesn't need to be when you're in the fit of anger. No, that is not the time to do that because they're going to feel attacked. They're going to feel like, oh my gosh, can't believe you're coming at me like this. It's not the time to do it, okay? You need to do it when you're both calm. And this is what you're going to say to them. I feel like right now, this isn't okay for me. And I can no longer accept blank behavior. And if you continue to do this, I blank. So this is a boundary you've crossed. I don't appreciate it. I really need this to no longer happen in our relationship. And then the back end, here's the consequence. So it could be, I can no longer be a part of your life. And that's sometimes what it's going to have to be. It can be, I'm going to have to limit my time in your life. It could be, well, then I can only be around you when, if it's like a family situation. Or it can be, I can only discuss these topics with you from now on because whenever we go into this topic, my boundaries get crossed. So you need to have clear in your brain what you're willing and not willing to put up with and what the consequence will be if this person continues to do that. But here's the kicker. Once you've set that boundary, once you've had that discussion, once you've let them know what you will and will not put up with, then you have to follow through, okay? Then you have to say and stick to your word. Because if you say, okay, then I'm no longer going to be in your life, and then the next week they call you up after they've crossed this boundary again and you've had this discussion, and then you allow them back in, to them that lets them know, okay, if I guilt her enough, if I give this person enough time, if I act sad enough or whatever it is, the boundary will crumble and I can do what I want anyway. So you have to be willing when you set this boundary to stick to it. And if you don't feel like you can stick to it, don't waste your time setting the boundary. I know that sounds really harsh, but there's no point to it because it doesn't mean anything. It's a meaningless act. So, and the reason I say don't even do it, there's no point to it, is because then if and when you are ready to set the boundary, they're going to be less likely to believe you. So when you're ready, and this can take some time, because like I said, it's hard. It's an internal struggle because for a lot of us, it's been ingrained into us that we're supposed to be that fixer, that we're supposed to go above and beyond for our family, friend, whatever, that we're supposed to allow fill in the blank of whatever it is. Be it your spouse, be it your children, be it your parents, be it your friends, be it your siblings. So, like I said, this is going to be hard. This is going to be something that you're probably going to have to work at. this is going to be something where you're going to want to backtrack because it's like, oh my gosh. Because let's face it, this is a habit that you've built over years and over time. So for you to be able to break out of it like that, it's going to take time as well. So be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself some grace, but also allow yourself to set the boundary. All right, guys, I hope this was super helpful for you. I hope you loved the video. And stay tuned for the next video, because actually in our next video, we're going to be talking about... No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, in the next video, we're going to be talking about taking care of yourself and self-care. And yeah, so see you in the next video. And as always, be soulfully you. Bye, guys.